grief and loss. We talked about it in the affirmation, right? To see that grief and loss that you have, to honor it, to validate that it's there, right? We don't want to run away from it. And y'all know I'm very good about talking about grief and loss, and in particular celebrating, showing. My tongue is tied today. That's what she said. So when we talk about grief and loss and we're dealing with that, and I share my story with you, for those of you who are new, you know, I do rescue babies. My therapy dog passed in the fall of 21, and that was really hard to deal with. But in general, I had a total of 5 dogs. I went from 5 dogs to 1. I got the parrot, but there's no more chicken, turkeys, rabbit. Got a bonus cat from Boo, bonus cat daughter, and then I had the piggies. And when little girl Daisy passed away last year in February, it was so sudden and unexpected. And for those of you who know, when pigs go down, they go down fast and they go down hard. And you know, now that these memories are starting to come up from last year, seeing that last year at this time, what they were doing in the yard, and him and her being together, and I thought that getting through her birthday in July was hard. I thought that getting through the holidays was hard, because it was. But to see getting close to what we consider a death day anniversary, and to see that right before that, these videos and photos of wonderful and happiness are there. And that's why I did that affirmation, because that's how I was feeling. I am digging deep to allow these emotions, with this grief and with this loss and with this death day anniversary, to validate that it's real, and that hopefully my waves will slow, right? Because when we're going through grief and loss, the waves come, and sometimes they come really, really fast, and they're high, towering over us. And then there are times where there's not even a ripple. It's just brushing up against the shore, right? You find yourself walking right there at the tip of it. And it can switch in a moment's glance if it's something that you smell or something that you see or a thought or a picture or whatever it is. But understanding how that grief and loss comes, understanding where it's coming from. It's amazing over the past year what has happened. And I remember in the beginning telling y'all, you know, this is such a horrible tragedy. However, for those of you who don't know pigs, they are compassionate. They know, they cry. And to see a pig, to see him mourn one of his own, is by far one of the most beautiful, heartfelt, imaginable just experience. I can't even find the word, right? Because from this horrible tragedy, him and I sat there for days. I lay down, we would talk to each other, right? Cry. And seeing a pig just mourn their own was just an experience that we never want to have. But if there's anything that made it just a little bit better, was seeing the beauty in the loss, was seeing the beauty in the bond and the trust that was him and I. And then waiting this whole year, right? I didn't jump to get anything else. So we've seen Jackson's gotten a little bit better. You know, Wilbur's finally gotten back to his own routine, which we would have never known if I had, adopted. I even didn't do any fostering this past year because I didn't want anything else. I wanted them to be able to get back to their norms. So now we're like at our baseline. So I don't know, there might be babies coming, y'all, but understand that that's why grief and loss is so important. And it doesn't have to be a pig, and it doesn't have to be me. It could be a kid, it could be anybody. Even Patrick is depressed, and he's a parrot. That's why sometimes you hear him going berserk, because I'm trying to manage that. If you know a trainer, because I'm doing the videos and stuff. But yeah, birds deal with depression too. So as we're coming up in these next weeks, coming up to the anniversary, I'll be sharing, continuing to share. And please share with me if there's questions you have, or maybe you have a story about grief or loss of someone that you lost, or you may think that other people tell you to get over it because maybe it was 10 decades ago, 2 decades ago. And that's not the case. I'll listen to you. All right. Remember, you're not alone. We're in it together. And I love you.